Hello everyone. In this module, we are going to discuss how to create a record arrays from a list of arrays. And in the following given table of content, first we will discuss what is record arrays in NumPy. Later, we will discuss methods of NumPy record array. So first we will discuss what is record arrays. Record arrays are similar to structure arrays, and record arrays are structure arrays that are wrapped using NumPy.record.arrays function. By using record arrays, we can access arrays using array attributes instead of array indexes. They have a special data type which is numpy.record, and this data type enables field access as an attribute. We use numpy.recordArray function for constructing record arrays. So here is the syntax of numpy.recordArray function, and within this syntax the first parameter is shape. This parameter defines that it is a tuple which contains the shape of the output array. And the next one parameter is dtype. It is an optional parameter that tells about the data type which we want for the array. The next parameter is buffer. This is an optional parameter that creates an array of the mentioned dimension. If there is no value, that it will be passed by default. If buffer value has been passed, then the array will use memory from an existing buffer. Our next parameter is offset. By default, it takes a 0 value and it defines the start reading buffer from this offset onwards. The next one parameter is strides. It is an optional parameter and it specifies how many bytes each array value contains in memory. And the next parameter is format. By default, it takes none value and it contains a list of data type. And the next parameter is names. The name of each column, and it is a tuple of string, for example a, b, C in the single quote. The next one parameter is titles, and it specifies the aliases for column names, and by default it takes none value. The last one parameter is byte order, and it specifies the byte order for all fields, and it always returns an output array of the given shape and data type. Now we will take an example and assessing record arrays using NumPy record array function. But instead, if we want to access an array's column not by indexing but as attributes, we can use record arrays. So in this example, we have assessed the column values by using the record attributes, that is numpy.recordArray method. First, we imported the NumPy library with the alias name np, and after that we have declared a array by using np.array function. Next, we use the view function and pass the np.recordArray method as an argument for converting the NumPy array into a record array. Now after this, as you can see that the output comes in the order of list that contains a string value, that is a name attribute, and other one is age, and the integer values defines the age. Now if you want to access the column name, then you can easily use the result.name attribute. So after executing this code, as you can see that it displays only the name attribute, and if you want to display the age column, then you can use result.age. Result is a record array, .age is a attribute. So after executing this code, the output comes the age of the employees. Now if you want to convert a record array into a list, then you can easily use toList function for converting the array into a list. In this example, we are going to convert the name column of the record into a list. For this, first we have created an array by using np.array function, and within this function we have assigned the name of the customer and the age of the customer, and along with that we have mentioned the data type. After creating an array, we have used the np.recordArray function for converting the array into a record array. So now we want to convert the column name into a list. For this, we have mentioned the result.age column attribute, and toList is used for converting the column age into a list. So after executing this code, it converts the record array into a list. Now if you want to add some new records to an existing records, you will use the append function. So basically we have created two input arrays, that is student information and the add info. Now after creating an array, we want to convert them into a record array by using the view function. So after creating a record array, now we want to append those recorded arrays and store them into a new output variable. So for this, we are going to use the np.append function, and within this function we have assigned the recorded arrays, that is result and result 2. So after executing this code, as you can see that the first input array value has been appended with the second array, that is robot 34. Now we will understand some methods of NumPy record array. So basically there are various methods to work on record arrays. So let us briefly understand about this method. First we will discuss NumPy.recordArray.all function. For this we are going to take an example and check what exactly is. So basically this method will check the condition. If all the values are true, then it will return a true. So in this example first we have created an array by using np.array function, and within this function we have assigned the integer as well as float values as an argument value. So with this we have used the dtype parameter and mentioned the data type. So id data type is float and the age data type is integer. So after creating an array, we have converting the input array into a record array. For this we are going to use the .view method, and within this function we have used the np.recordArray function. So after that we have accessed the id attributes and the age attribute by using result.id and result.age. So now we are going to use the np.recordArray.all function and check whether it is true or not. So within this function we have assigned result.id because we have to extract the id column. After executing this code, the output comes here, that is true. So our next method is numpy.recordArray.max function. So basically this function is used to return the index of the maximum value from an array's particular column. Now we will take an example and understand the working of this function. So in this example, first we have created an array, that is employee information, by using np.array function, and within this function we have assigned employee's id and the age information in the form of floating and integer data type. So after creating an array, we have to convert the input array into a record array. For this we are going to use the .view function, and within this function we have used the np.recordArray. So after that we have to find the maximum value from a record array. For this we are going to use the np.recordArray.argmax function, and within this function we have assigned the id column attribute. So here we have returned the index value of the maximum value from the id column, and the maximum value from record array is 78.2. So our last function is numpy.recordArray.sort function. So basically this function will sort the values and it will return the recorded array. Now we will take an example and check what exactly this function will do. So in this example, first we have created an array by using np.array function, and within this function we have assigned the floating and the integer value as an argument. Floats as consider as be weights, and the integer value as we consider as a age value. So after creating an array, we have used view function for converting the input array into a record array, and within this function we have used the np.recordArray. Now we have to sort the values of weights column attribute. So for this we are going to use the np.recordArray.sort function, and within this function we have mentioned the result.weights attribute. So after executing this code, the output comes the list. It has been sorted in the ascending order. So with this we have completed how to create a record arrays in a NumPy